Hello, it's me again. So I wanted to talk about the title of my video, which is the Moulton Family War. I don't know where the name came from, but I saw it on Facebook and I've heard it through the grapevine. And I don't know if it's a Moulton Family War. This is on my dad's side of the family. I'm thinking about it as the Moulton Family Feud, but then it sounds like a game show, which makes it sound like a lot of fun. And it's not fun at all. It's kind of sad, actually. But I wanted to start by saying that this video is not meant as, nor will anything I put in it be a condemnation or accusation or taking sides or hopefully anything that will continue to fuel the fire that I see. So about a year ago, my grandmother Moulton, my dad's mom, passed away. And as happens in so many families, there was already communication breakdown, and there was already different childhood experiences that we all have, and there were a lot of different adult experiences, and all of those played together along with fear and sadness and loss and big miscommunications that led to a breakdown and fueled taking of sides. And so in this video I have messages for all my aunts and uncles, at least my dad's brothers and sisters. I'm going to try to make it brief, and good messages and some thoughts, including a little bit of my own personal experiences, not negative things, but some positive. So I'm going to mention the dream that I have. Now, we all have different interpretations of dreams. They could be scientific, they could be spiritual, they could be both, they could be something entirely different and unknown, something made up in our subconscious or something real. But about a month after my grandmother Moulton passed, my husband Austin and I went on a cruise, and we were in the ship, and it was rocking, and I had some really interesting dreams. But one night I dreamed very briefly that I was talking to my grandmother Moulton, and she was much younger, more when I remember her as a kid. And she said to me something like, "I know that we didn't get along, and I know that we both said things that were mean, and we both tried to reach out, but I want you to know I still love you." And I woke up and I thought that was a really nice way to have some closure, I guess, to a degree for me. So it was a really cool dream, and I just wanted to share that. So I have some emails here that she wrote me over the years, and again, my point in this is not to talk about what our disagreements, mine and hers, were about at all, because we're all human and we all do and say things, and we're a mixture of our experiences. So I hold no grudges and have no animosity, but I thought it would be interesting for you to hear the positives of my experience. So here's an email that she sent me in 2008 after a youth I had been working with had shot and killed himself. And there was a couple lines she said that I thought you'd be interested in hearing. One at the end, she says, "I'm sure I could fix some time if you want that to happen." I should say that she was offering to connect and talk about the loss. She said, "I think of you often, sending all my love." So, there was some positive stuff there. And in the beginning, she said, "This is the most telling line to me. It is always hard to really know what is in someone else's mind." And she was right, and that's very true. And I think that really, for me, speaks to part of what's going on, at least as I perceive it. And I'm only one person, and I don't see all the experiences. Another email, this was the last one that she sent. And I didn't write back, but I did try to talk to her up until probably this email, which was a good email. But again, we all have our differences, and that's okay. So we had been harassed for our orientation a few years ago, Austin and I. And she reached out and sent an email and said that she's sorry she hadn't met Austin, and sometimes things get lost in communication. Which again, these two lines, I'm trying to pull lines out to send them out to my dad's brothers and sisters and my cousins and myself, and think about what those could mean. Sometimes things get lost in communication, and it is always hard to really know what is in someone else's mind. I think that these are really amazing. So some messages to my aunts and uncles, just some thoughts, just directly, because I realize that I'm not foolish enough to think this video is going to change anything. I've been thinking about wanting to do this for months, especially weeks, but in recognizing that it's probably not going to change anything, because I'm going to talk about science for a minute. Hold on. But recognizing this is probably not going to change anything, I really fear that no one's going to give in. No one's going to... And what does give in mean? I don't mean win. You don't win a war. Anyone's going to give in, meaning going to reach out and do the things that I want to talk about, that I teach, honestly, and then I have to relearn every day, which is ask questions. Asking questions and being willing to hear, not only hear someone's response, and hear to me isn't just pause until someone's done and interrupt them, or pretend to listen so that you can prove why you are right. And I'm guilty of doing that too. But really listen, and here's an example. I have friends who, I'm not going to name, but good friends who are adamantly opposed to equal marriage, like for religious reasons. They do not believe that someone who loves someone with the same sex should have the equal rights that someone who's married and loves someone of the opposite sex should have in the government. Not talking about religion or church. And when I found that out years ago, I'll be gay. I'll be gay. Woo! Gayer than a box of butterflies. Whatever that means. Where did that voice come from? But I wanted to understand. I didn't want to shut down and condemn them because, well, you're saying that I shouldn't have rights and I'm less of a person, which is a feeling. So we ended up talking, and I shut up. I shut up, not like I'm doing now, blah, blah, blah. And I listened, and I heard from their religious viewpoint and how they were raised, and what was just an integral part of their mind, that it was wrong from a religious standpoint. And then they listened to me, and they heard what I was going through and what was being restricted, and how that hardship financially and emotionally and humanely was causing challenges. And it opened their eyes. It didn't change their mind, and it didn't change my mind, but I heard them, and they heard me, and we're still really good friends, and I value that friendship. And it's so important to me to have people around me who have different points of view. But I know that everyone has been struggling with their sadness, their hurt, their offense, their perception of what has been done, and then there have been mean things said on all sides. I don't think anyone's innocent of that. I'm not. I own that. But here's some positive messages. So I'm going to go right through my aunts and uncles. To my Aunt Rose. I love you, and I love your humor, and we've had some really great personal instant messages and conversations, and worked together on a few things over the years that I've been really honored to try to be helpful with. And then you've inspired me with your humor, and I think it's great, and your inclusivity, and all those components. So I absolutely adore you. My Aunt Ree. Same thing, great humor, great conversation. I think you have the Christmas tree, and I plan to see it on this year's holiday party. And I still have the waterbed that Uncle S made. So I love you. That's great. And I love you. I love you. My Uncle Jim. This one memory that comes to mind at the moment is maybe 8 years ago or more-ish. I was living in Moulton with my husband at the time, Ron, and my girls were there for their one and only Christmas morning, and you came with mom and dad to be part of our Christmas morning, and I really appreciated that. I don't know if you're going to get this message. I'm going to try to send a link and find your email, but I love you, absolutely. My Uncle Gordy. What sticks out to me is DW Pearls. I was a kid, 16 through 18, and I worked with you, and we had a really good time and a lot of laughs. You taught me a lot, and those are memories that will stay with me forever. They helped form my adolescence. You treated me like an adult, and it was a really formative time. And so thank you. I love you. I love you. To my mom and pops, I could talk forever, but I love you. You've been the foundation that built me, the cornerstone to all I've done. You've always been so supportive, always in my corner. You're the reason I've been able to and was able to form into somebody who could help so many other people. If it wasn't for how you raised me, what you did for me, I wouldn't have been able to do all that I've done and continue to do because it provided what I needed. So I'm always here for you. We just had a wonderful fun dinner time with gelato last night. So I'll stop there. Thank you. You have my always unconditional love. My Uncle Keith. I love your sense of humor and seeing how you react to things. I haven't gotten to know you as well over the years, but I really admire how you traveled across the country and formed a life on the other coast. And I've enjoyed some of our conversations over the years. And yeah, I absolutely love you. My Aunt Kathy. The memory that comes to me right now is when you rented my grandmother, my mom's house when she moved out, just up the street from us, and I think it was my senior year. You were so close. I would walk down often and visit and talk and visit with Tina, and it was just a really good time. And I also have the memory of you as a kid and going over for birthday parties. So this is the King of Nephews speaking, which is our code used in email. So I love you. I absolutely love you. And then to my cousins. I have so many cousins. I couldn't possibly name everybody. I have cousins, first cousins, second cousins, third cousins, seventh cousins, twice removed. There's math in there. I don't understand math. So I'm just going to say I love you all, and I'm going to work to post a photo here that my Aunt Linda sent and posted to us of when I was a kid at my grandmother Moulton's house with my cousins, and that photo really exemplified the positive, fun memories I have of that place and space, which was there were so many of us, and we would always get together for birthday parties and holidays and different things, and it gave me a chance as a kid to develop. Those are my first friends, or my cousins. Goodness. So if you've been listening this long, I thought I'd give you a break. A puppy break. Yay! Before we go on, so here's a quick puppy break. Look, I'm a puppy. Nothing is so serious in the world that a puppy can't fix it. Ooh, 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 ooh. Science, behavioral science, studies show that when you make up your mind, you being me and us and every human being on the planet, when we make up our mind about something, when we get something in our head, a perception of something, it is next to impossible to change. And we see that everywhere, every day, from politics to religion to road rage to you name it. We get entrenched. It's part of our survival mechanism. It's more than that. I won't bore you with what little I know about science. You can definitely look that up. But studies more recently have shown that not only do I make up our minds and get stuck in that, our brains release a chemical that is a pleasure chemical. I think it's oxytocin. I don't remember exactly. I'll try to put the link here. But it reinforces defending our position. So basically what it's saying is every time we argue a point or argue our side or debate, our brain is releasing a chemical that makes it feel really good. So it's like a natural high. So we feel really good in defending this point or position, even if we only have part of the information or only know one component to it. And then it becomes hard to step back and say, maybe I don't have all the information. Maybe I don't know the whole picture. Or maybe I do, but I want to get out of this loop. And maybe everything I've seen is 100% true, but I want to move forward, but I don't know how to because I'm so stuck. And unless you practice doing that, breaking out of that, it becomes permanent forever. And that's what I mean by this video probably won't change anything. And that's the hard part. But it's the part that, I practice Buddhism. That's who I am. And that's about accepting and leaning into discomfort. Part of it is that. And it's about acknowledging that, things sometimes just don't come back together. It may be that the entire family is splintered into little clusters or components, and it will never change. And that would be kind of sad, because I have a lot of positive memories. But if anyone wanted to change that, it's not in one big motion. It's in little conversations. It's reaching out to people that, with genuine openness and love and kindness and willingness to look past our hurt and say, why did you do that? Why did you say that? Can you explain to me what you're thinking? How are you feeling? Is there hope for us to communicate? And maybe there isn't, and that's okay. That really is okay, because that does happen and things change, and nothing is going to be the same, because nothing stays the same. So asking questions, that's probably my biggest hope, is that we ask questions not in a condemning way, but in a genuine, like, hey, I've had some good times with you. I love you. I appreciate you as a person. I don't like the choices you've made or those things that you said. You can have that, because you don't have to accept everything. But asking questions, and we're stronger when we're together. We're stronger when we're united. And so that's it. That was probably my longest vlog ever. If you made it through the entire freaking thing, you should get an award. I will send you chocolate and money in the mail. So I know if I get a request that you watched it. So I'm going to give you some outtakes that hopefully are funny. I love you all. That's all I really think I have to say. And I hope that some of you can reconnect. And I love the fact that I'm still talking to, I think, almost all of you. And I don't mean that as an ego statement or thinking that I'm better than anyone, because I'm so not. I am so flawed. I make mistakes and say terrible things constantly, and I'm always trying to catch myself in those places. So I'm just going to leave you with a quote or two from my grandmother Moulton. How about we do that? So the two things that stuck out to me that she said in my emails are these last two. This is from her to you. Let's say that. It is always hard to really know what is in someone else's mind. That was really smart. There's that one, and that was back in 2008. And then this one. Things get lost in communication. I know I'm probably taking those out of context, but I leave you with those. I love you all. Take good care. Okay, bye. Will there be more outtakes? I don't know, possibly. The Moulton family war. I'm back again. Hello. Cut. Chase. You gotta warm up. This is like warming up. You get it, dogs? Warming up. But you gotta be quiet because I'm talking. And I'm not sitting on the toilet, by the way. I'm not sitting on the toilet. I'm in a chair in the bathroom. I should have made that clear last time. And babble, and babble. Look at me, babble. I'm babbling, a woman up. Wow. My nose is really bent. Woo woo! Look at that. That's what I get for getting kicked to the nose when I was 17, and you know who you are. Old man reading glasses so I can see. I can see my camera. Hello, out there. Stop that. Blah blah blah. Old man reading glasses, but boy, I can see the world.